Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I'm really excited because I have a new palette in my collection that I purchased myself that I think could be one of my favorite palettes. I've only used it once, so that is a first impression, like love at first sight, we should say. But it is the Afrogalactic palette from JUVIA'S place. And what I plan on doing in this video is creating two looks. I've already created a look and I'll show you that one as well. And I'm also going to compare it to another palette that I have in my collection that I also purchased that was more expensive, and that is the Siren Sunset palette from Lunar Beauty. Now, it's not because they are dupe color stories at all, but I have a feeling there's like some similar formulas in here. And this one is just such a low price that I find it very interesting. So if you'd like to see more of this palette, learn more about it, and maybe you'll be persuaded to get it yourself, and maybe not. But if you want to see all my thoughts on this and see the looks, keep on watching. All right, you guys. Also, if my skin, to you guys, you probably don't notice, but my skin looks different to me because I was sitting outside at a baseball tournament most of the day and it was blowing dirt because I live in a place where it blows dirt, and my face is darker than normal for one, and it was just so dry. So, you know, I'm probably the only one noticing it, but if you're like, her face looks different, that's why. Also, you'll notice I just have a tiny bit of mascara on in my wings because that's how I went to the baseball game. So I'm just going to work around that, and then I'll put on my false lashes like I always do. All right, let's go ahead and open up this palette and take a look at her. You guys, this is beautiful. And I will say I was pretty influenced by a friend on Instagram. Her name's Shonda, and then my friend Steph on here and on Instagram, because they raved about this palette. I grabbed it during the Black Friday sale for $18, and then I realized afterwards I could have gotten it for even cheaper because TikTok Shop had an extra 30% off. So, I mean, this palette is dirt cheap. And it's crazy to me because there are 4 duochromes in here. There's also all kinds of textures. You have these mattes with sparkles in it. I'm going to also be showing you guys some swatches over here of the duochromes and then like a video of the palette. But anyway, you also have some really sparkly shimmers, the duochromes, and then the mattes. So you get, you know, lots of textures in here, which is awesome. But what I'm really focused on are these duochromes, because to get 4 duochromes in a very inexpensive palette and them to look as beautiful as they do is mind-blowing. But let me also show you guys the Siren Sunset palette real quick from Lunar Beauty. Now, like I said, I'm not comparing color stories here because obviously they're very, very different. However, the duochromes in here really remind me of the ones in here as well, just the formula wise. And actually, I kind of think these, at least they swatch a little bit better than these do. These are a little bit more shifty. I'll show you that comparison also on the screen. But it got me thinking. I looked at where this one was made. It's made in RPC, PRC, People's Republic of China. So is this one. So it had me thinking, are these the same? Are these the same formulas, but this one's just so much more expensive than this one? It kind of sent me down a rabbit hole looking at all my palettes, looking at where they're made. I started thinking, well, maybe these are all the same formula. You know, who knows? It could be the same lab, but Manny does say from Lunar Beauty that he has his own formula. I'd like to believe that that is true. But what was interesting is you're not going to really be able to tell it because I've already dipped into them and swatched them. But the duochromes in both have this kind of signature looking imprint in them. It's like a plaid design within its own, like the own colors of the duochrome. I had never seen that before until this palette. So as soon as this one came in and I noticed it, I was like, are these the same? And if so, that would be very, very interesting. This one runs at 50 something dollars, 54, 56, something like that. This was 36, but then they have these sales where you can get it for 18, $15. So just something to think about. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and create a look here. Like I said, I'll pop in the picture of the look I've already created. I absolutely loved it. I'll tell you what shades that I used in that one. I used Multiverse, which is it's not a typical mustardy. It's like a green yellow. It's not like a mustard yellow necessarily. There's more green tone to that, and I really, really like this shade. I also used Supernatural. That is a like kind of smoky green gray, and that was really pretty to smoke out that look. I also used, I believe, Mother Earth right here on the lid, and then in the inner corner, I think I used Spirit here, and it was beautiful. Like the quality of this palette is insane. So let's go ahead and get started. And I will say I didn't put primer on my lids. I usually do, but I already sat down. I was ready to film. I was too lazy to get back up. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I've been doing baseball all weekend long. So no, I didn't get up to put the primer on my eyes, but we're just going to see how this goes. Okay. I definitely want to do something a little bit more bold and colorful with this look. So I'm going to go into light. It is this pink right here. All right, this bright pink matte. If you guys heard something really loud a second ago, my child decided it'd be a good time to blast the TV in my room behind me. So if you heard that, you were not mistaken. Okay, this is a very pigmented pink. And just kind of packing that on here. Okay, and now I'm just gonna kind of diffuse the top part of this pink. So it's a little bit softer. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with this Discovery. It is a deeper purple, and I'm just gonna place this in this inner portion and bring it over to the crease and kind of blend those in together. I like how this purple has those sparkles in it. I don't always like mattes like that have a sparkle. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I see those and I get annoyed, but this one just looked prettier in the pan, and then on, I think it also works really well because it's still really pigmented, but then has these just like little reflects of sparkle, whereas sometimes these formulas will be too sheer. It's a matte, but then the pigment's not there because it's got the sparkles in it. I'm like, why'd they even put those in there? But this one I think does work. Okay, next I'm picking up the shade Mars. And this is going to be a very, very deep purple to deepen up the outer lid. Yeah, this is like a really deep eggplant purple. Okay, and I'm actually going to take that same shade for the lower lash line. Oops, I just got out of the zone. I like how deep this purple is because you could definitely do like a smoky purple look. I'm going to kind of just drag this up here. Obviously, I'm going to have to go back over the wing here in a minute. But I really like how this deep purple looks on this lower lash. All right, I cut up the other eye to this eye as well. And I want to point out, this doesn't have a mirror, but I always just like put a little handheld one right here if it doesn't come with the mirror. I just didn't want you guys to think it looked like she was looking in a mirror and then you get it and there's no mirror. There's no mirror. Okay, so what I kind of want to do just to compare these two duochromes in Siren Sunset in here, there's this, okay, let me go ahead and do a finger swatch. I've shown the swatches on the screen, but let me do, okay, there's Orbit in here, which looks similar, let's see, to Temptress. Orbit, Temptress. So Orbit is the Afrogalactic and Temptress is the Lunar Beauty Siren Sunset. So I'm going to do Orbit on this eye. Very pretty. Okay, I see a little blue purple shift here. Very pretty. Okay, now I'm going to grab Siren Sunset and Temptress, and we're going to do that on this eye. Okay, interesting. This one is more sparkly. It's definitely more sparkly. I would say the shade is almost identical. This one has more sparkle. And this might be why whenever I swatched these side by side and it looked like the, let me get a little bit more here. It looked like the Afrogalactic was a little shiftier. It may be because it was a little bit thinner of a formula feeling and not as sparkly. So I think like this one shifts a little bit more. This one sparkles more. So, all right, they're not the same formula, which this was my test. I wanted to compare the two. And honestly, I think they're both really, really pretty. I don't know which one that I prefer yet. I do love a sparkle, but I think they both look really, really pretty. But from far away, I mean, they basically look the same. Okay, then let's go in with Wakanda. This one's very shifty looking. Okay, on the finger. It's not shifting a ton on the eye. I don't know if it's because I already had that other shimmer down. It is really pretty though. I wonder if by itself on a lid without any pigment, if it would shift a bit more. But it just adds a really beautiful teal sparkle there. Okay, pretty. Let me make sure there's not another one in this palette that I can compare. Let's see, Siren. Let's do that one. That might be the closest. Okay, actually no, Siren has more pink. Ooh, but I kind of like the duality of having teal over here and the pink shift on this eye. Okay, so Wakanda, teal this side, and then the Siren this side. All right, for inner corner, I'm going in with Alien in the Afrogalactic palette. Ooh, that is super pretty. Ooh, that would have been really pretty on the lid too, but it's gorgeous as an inner corner. Let me show you on my pinky. It has like a lilac, silver, super, oh, wow. That's so pretty. Okay, I put it in this one too. So it kind of picks up more of the pink in this one, and then it kind of picked up that teal next to this one. But that is a beautiful, beautiful inner corner. All right, you guys, I am gonna put on my lashes and my lip, and we will come back and discuss this look. All right, the lashes are on, the lip is on. Let me just tell you what lip I use because I forget to do that, and sometimes people ask me. I use the Vinyl Ink Maybelline, and this is in the shade Witty. And then on top, and I love how this gloss looks on top of this, it's the JUVIA'S Place. So Glazed is the gloss. But, all right, you guys, here is the look. So remember, we have mattes are the same on both eyes from Afrogalactic. And then the lids, this side is JUVIA'S. This side has the Lunar Beauty. This side has the more teal. And this side has like the pink in here. And looking at it up close, also in different lighting, it's funny because on this side, that first shimmer I said, or that first duochrome I said was more sparkly than this side. But then I think this one here, Wakanda, is sparkly. It's more sparkly than the first one. And I do think you see more colors on this eye than you do, look at me like, than you do on this eye. So, I don't know. I like them both. I might like JUVIA'S formula a tiny bit better. I don't know. I still have to play with it, but I mean, undeniably though, this is really, really beautiful, and that's my second look now I've done with this, and I'm still absolutely loving it. I love this inner corner so much. So, all right, now I'm going to do, or next day, tomorrow me is going to do a second look just using this palette. I think I may change my mind between now and then, but I think I may do like a mixture of these two rows here. So stay tuned for that. All right, you guys, day number 2, time to do the second look. I did change my mind a little bit. I think I am going, well, I'm just gonna dig in and I'm gonna tell you what I'm using as I go. Okay, I'm going in with Solar, and Solar is a gray with, oh, and I did put primer on my lids today. We're just gonna, I don't think it'll make too much difference, but I wasn't lazy today. So Solar is this gray with little bits of sparkle. And I'm just laying that down, or patting it on pretty much to do my version of a halo eye. And yes, my version is slightly different than most. It's because of my brow bone, how it juts out and hangs over so much. A traditional halo eye does not work for me. It's not flattering. It just, you would never see what all you're supposed to see because this bone hangs over so much. So I have to do it just a little bit differently. So yeah, I'm gonna lay that down here. And then also in this inner portion. Okay, then I'm actually gonna take this Supernatural, this deeper green, and I'm just going to put that on this outer portion, just ever so slightly. You guys will probably notice that I'm zoomed in a little bit more. So exciting, and I feel like such a ding dong because it's something that I knew I needed to do with my videos, and I thought it would have to be equipment. I thought, oh, I'd have to get something that can zoom, you know, not realizing that I can just zoom in post filming whenever I'm editing. And it was such an easy, simple thing to figure out. It literally took me like 2 seconds. So I'm so glad I had somebody leave such a helpful comment. It was on the video where I was talking about a bigger creator saying if you don't have quality lighting and equipment and all this, and you'll never be successful and no one will want to sub to you. And I kind of got offended because it was like, not everyone can just afford thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Anyway, this viewer and sub, I think she subbed, get just such a thoughtful, long comment about when she does think that quality matters and how, and when she doesn't, reasons why she's subscribed, unsubscribed to people before. And she did give me one little bit of constructive criticism and said if I could say one thing to help, it would be to zoom in on your videos somehow where we can see you put on your makeup better. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to do that or meant to do that. Thank you for that comment. And that like just kicked me in the butt to figure it out. And this whole time, for 2.5 years, I could have had so much better, more zoomed in videos doing eyeshadow looks. It was one little thing to figure out. And that comment anyway, definitely encouraged me to figure it out. So I thank her so much. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this more zoomed in better and you can see more detail. All right, you guys, now I'm trying to figure out which I want to put, which shimmer. Okay, we have Bylona, I think is what it's called, and Aura. Then we also have Ancestors. Haven't used that one yet. So that one actually looks like I don't think I swatched that one yet. I think that's another duochrome that I missed in here. So maybe there's 5 duochromes and I've been saying 4. Okay, then we have Horizon. All right, let me swatch these. Oops, I just got one on top of another one kind of here. All right, I had this other swatch right here, so ignore that. Those are really, really pretty. I think we have to go the green route, the Aura. So let's put that right here. This is more of a traditional shimmer. And when I was saying my version of a halo eye, I'm going to go in with a matte up here and blend this in because it doesn't look good on me the traditional way of doing matte, shimmer, and not connecting the top. Okay, that shimmer's pretty. It's falling a little flat for me because it is just a traditional. I'm going to take Ancestors and just kind of put that a little bit on top of there. I like that. I kind of wish I would have gone that route with Ancestors first. It is pretty layered on top, but I think it would have been a little bit more impactful if I hadn't put down Aura first. And then let's do, I'm just going to layer them on now. Okay, let's see what Horizon does if I pop that. Oh yeah, okay. Those really layer beautifully on top of each other. Gives it like a purple, green, silver sort of vibe. Okay, now let's connect the top. Grab this brush here. And I am going to use, actually, I'm going to use Multiverse. That is that green, yellow, mustardy, antique-y, green, yellow shade. I'm just gonna kind of blend in this top part and the edges. Okay, I think that's looking pretty. So I'm gonna take Stars. Stars is a black matte with multicolored sparkles. I'm just gonna kind of line right here on top of the lashes. Ooh, it's got some pigment to that black. Okay, okay. Wow, there's so many different textures in here. I was gonna point out too that that last shimmer I put on top, Horizon, is a much drier formula than some of the others. Like the duochromes in here are really smooth, very smooth. And Horizon is kind of a drier, I don't want to say chunky. Chunky's not really the right word because it is flattering. It's not like crumbly or anything, but it's just a much different formula from the duochromes in the way that it feels. And some of the other shimmers in here, which I think is cool. There's so many different formulas. That is some pigment with that black. Like I wasn't really expecting. I know I said that these are those mattes that have sparkles and they're actually good because they still have good pigment, but I didn't know it'd be that pigmented. That is a really good black. Okay, now I'm taking that Bailona, it's Beilona, and I'm gonna put that, ooh. Okay, that is fun. It has pink, it has gold, almost like an orange, like a neon. What a beautiful shade. It's crazy how many shifty shimmer shades are in this palette. I'm just, you guys, spoiler, I'm just so stunned by this palette. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna finish it up on this eye too, and I'm going to do my lashes, liner, lip, and then we'll wrap up Afrogalactic. This was a good one. Oh my gosh, you guys, I thought I was recording for like 10 minutes and it wasn't. But anyway, here is the final look. Let's do this again. I just said all this, but wasn't recording. So I have the lashes on, the liner on. Love this look so much. On the lips is this liner from Wet n Wild. This is from the Cocoa collection 2 years ago. Then we have Propa Beauty lipstick. This is one of my favorite lipstick brands ever. It's also a Black owned beauty brand, and it is Believe It is the shade. Love it so much. Then on as gloss, I have the Color Icon from Wet n Wild in the shade Leo, and it has a little bit of this orange coral pink gold reflect that I thought just put a little bit on top to reflect the inner corner here. And you guys, I love this look. It's so different from the other one, also different from the first look that I created. I love how smoky and deep this is. It's also slightly grungy. I'm really impressed with this black in here. It is like, I mean, super opaque, but like with little bitty sparkles. I used every shade in here so far except for 4. I have not used these mattes right here. The orange, this like deeper kind of brick orangey red, and then this blue, like a blurple matte. And I also haven't used Spirit, this shimmer here. Otherwise, I've used all of them. And I kind of debunked my own theory. I don't think that these are the same duochrome formulas anymore. However, I mean, they're similar, and I feel like Juvia's is just as good, if not better. So I think if you're in the market for either one of these, then you know, you guys can decide. Maybe it's color story issues for you guys, which one that you would choose. But I think I like this one better. And I really do enjoy the Lunar Beauty palette. You guys, I think this might go down as my favorite affordable palette of the year. I have not tried the Cosmic Brushes Wonderland palette yet. I do have it in my possession. I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm going to try really hard to do that before the end of the year so I can make an assessment of some favorite palettes. But this one is so good. It is by far Juvia's best palette that they've done, in my opinion. The only thing that's somewhat limiting here is, you know, you can't get very neutral. This is about as neutral-ish as you can get here. So if this is too colorful for you, it may not work for you. But I mean, you guys, this quality is so good. It is definitely teaching us that these brands, these indie brands that are putting these duochromes in their palettes and charging insane amounts of money, they really shouldn't be doing that. Because if Juvia's can do it, they can do it too at a cheaper price. But you guys will have to let me know which of the two looks that you like better. You didn't get as good a look at the first one because you just saw a picture inserted. I love them all, but I think this one is definitely my favorite to date. And you guys let me know how you enjoyed this video. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.